I'll say a few words, and then you're gonna let me go, right? I'll stay back afterwards, and I'll talk to you. Okay. For starters, I just want to say a couple words. I had notified law enforcement previously that as Casey's representative, as her attorney, as of the next of kin of this child, that if it in fact turned out to be CAYLEE, that I wanted to be notified first so that I would be able to convey this to my client in a dignified manner, being as that I have myself and my staff have been the closest one to her throughout this process. It's what she wanted. And, you know, it's strange. That courtesy was not given to us. That lack of professionalism, that I'm really just at a loss for words on how someone in this country who's presumed innocent would not have that dignity of being able to have this type of news delivered to them should it ever happen in the way that it was done. But you know, the lack of professionalism has become predictable, and fortunately I predicted that they might do this. And I had sent an attorney from my office to be here with her today, and just in case, because as you've heard in my arguments in court, we believe they had a preliminary results as to who this child was a long time ago. Before DNA, bodies were identified many times, all the time, through other means. And you know, I just think it's just not a professional way of doing things. And I'm extremely disappointed in the manner that this was carried out. Like I said, though, fortunately, their lack of professionalism has become predictable, and we were able to stay one step ahead of them and have someone here who knows Casey and could be there to console her in the situation. Now, I know the million-dollar question that everybody wants to ask me is, how's she doing? How does she take the news? What did she say? And the truth of the matter is, I'm not going to disclose any of that. This is her private moment. This is what she is going through. This is her life right now that she is having to battle through this time. And I don't think it's my place as her attorney to be in private situations and then disclosing them to the public. And that's my position. That's, I think, the way we want to go about doing things with her. And I'm sure that's what she would want.
But how was she notified?
The chaplain came in and notified her through the jail. Somehow they felt the chaplain was more important to know before I would be notified. So, but like I said, we were here, we were prepared, and we weren't going to allow them to do that to her.
Jose, in light of the new evidence,
now, hold on, let me finish. I do have something else I want to say. Another thing that I wanted to clear up in the media were relating to the events that we had yesterday, and that was during Captain Nieves' press conference that he had, where he blamed the defense for making them rush through the crime scene. I don't think anything could be further from the truth. We asked to observe. They informed us that they would be done on certain dates. That wasn't the case, and you know, I think it was more of a taking a stab at us as a deflection for them having to release their blunders. Don't blame me for your blunders. if you do something that you're not proud of, don't try to deflect it by accusing the defense of things that, quite frankly, aren't true. That's my position on that. And like I said, I'll answer just a couple of questions, but I'd like to go. We have things to do. And
well, Jose, what's your reaction to this news today, given that you've worked under the past 6 months under the assumption that KAYLEE Marie Anthony would be found alive?
Well, as I said, I feel they've made a preliminary, they had already made a preliminary finding. So, my reactions are unimportant. I'm a professional. I'm here to do a job. And my client has told me she's not guilty. She's innocent, and we're moving forward. And again, I got to tell you something. You really do not know half of the story. You don't, and you will find out in court, and that's when it's going to come out. So, I haven't changed or wavered from that in any way, despite of the recent events. There is a lot to this situation, and there's a lot we don't know yet. So we're investigating it. We're gonna take it one step at a time, and unfortunately, this isn't going to be done in 2 days. So,
Jose, in light of the new evidence as it relates to the utility worker, basically, is that going to act to your defense or what?
As far as the situation, excuse me. As far as the situation with the utility worker is concerned, we're certainly glad he has counsel, so that way we could communicate with him. Until we fully investigate the situation, it's very hard to determine how this is going to affect anything.
Well, she'll say she sent her daughter to the people who supposedly took her child, who she says knows took her child.
She's not talking to anyone. She's in jail. So so that would be a neat trick. She
changed her story at all?
I'm not going to disclose anything relevant to the defense. I mean, that would be a foolish thing to do, and I'm trying not to.
Attend her child's funeral?
Well, that is going to be up to the court. So certainly Judge Strickland is going to have a hand in that, and we'll have to wait and see about the whole situation.
Jose, timing is critical.
Si quiere esperar un minuto después que termine esto, hazme un favor. Si quiere esperar allá, Javier, yo voy ahí directamente y hablo contigo.
Gracias. Timing is critical as far as everything is concerned, and there's no exact cause of death.
Hold on, I think Adam had it.
You were talking about the crime scene and how you wanted to be able to get in there with your experts. Is that still pertinent, or given that you said it's an excavation site, are you going to rely on the photos, or do you still want to have your defense team go into that area?
I sent out a press release clearly laying out, because once we had these photos, we showed them to our experts. Our experts are the finest in the world, and they tell us that we need all of the information, all of the photos, and to go out there and do a disingenuous walkthrough for the media is not what we're all about. So until we get the full discovery, we're not going to be able to process it, and hopefully we can do it with privacy, that our experts can work and not have to deal with the public or the media trampling around as they do the walkthrough. They are going to see the excavation site, but right now it's just an excavation site as far as we're concerned. And until we have the photos of what it looked like, and all of that is really going to depend on how well law enforcement documented the scene. And I can tell you, we're not rushing them at all. They can stay there a month, however long they need to. We want them to do as best a job as they can, so all the true facts will come to light. We're not rushing them at all. And I never made that argument. I never attempted to make it. It was always, they gave us one representation and did another. And, that's been an ongoing theme in this case since she got arrested the second time.
Someone else is responsible. You're not looking for anyone.
I don't know what law enforcement is doing. I really don't know if they're looking for someone else. And like I said, if they are, they certainly wouldn't tell you guys, or they would go on and do their job. At least that's what we're hoping.
What was Casey's feeling about that, or did she say anything about that part of the neighborhood? Was she surprised? Was she like, couldn't believe it?
Like I said in my earlier statement, I'm not going to discuss any conversations I have with Casey in any way.
Jose, timing is critical. When the body was dumped, how long it's been there, as you well know. All you have to do is create a reasonable doubt in the juror's mind. Do you feel that with the events happening the way they are, this is going to play to your defense?
Well, you know, until we have all the facts, it's hard to tell. And you say all you have to do is lay a reasonable doubt. It's not that easy. You know, it has to be laid out through facts, and you know, it's especially difficult when we don't have access to the crime scene. So we need to be able to go there and inspect it in the